All right, guys, you've been asking for calisthenics. You ask and I deliver. Today, guys, I'm gonna be teaching you how to do the handstand. And not like the videos before, I will be breaking it down. 5 exercises that you have to master that will take you to the road to build up a perfect handstand. Trust me, guys, a handstand is super easy once you've learned it. Once you've learned it, it's just cool for videos. But if you can't do it, the road to building up a handstand is going to build your body crazily, because you will discover weak points, you will discover tightnesses, you will discover immobility that you will have to fix on the way to doing a handstand. So trust me, guys, don't sleep on this episode. It's a mad one, and do not skip learning a handstand. It's a cool skill and it strengthens your whole body. Let's go. Time to build real men. How? All right, guys, time to learn some handstands. Now, why do you want to learn a handstand? I mean, why do you want to learn anything? Why do you want to learn to do a deadlift? Why do you want to learn to do a squat? Why do you want to learn to drive car? Why do you want to learn to do anything? Just because. Why would you not? I mean, it is something that your body is capable of doing. Why would you not become better at something that you do badly, or learn to do something that you cannot do at all? Everything that you develop mentally and physically is going to develop you as a man. So simple, that is the reason. Just because you can't do it, that's why you should be learning to do it. That said, learning a handstand, you will discover things that you didn't even know about your body. You will discover tightnesses, you will discover strengths, and you will discover weaknesses in your body. And I will teach you exactly which step to take to kill all of them. And guys, trust me, the road to a handstand, there is few things that build your shoulders, that build your core, that build your traps, that build your triceps as the road to a handstand. So in beginning, it is a mad strength and hypertrophy exercise. Later on, when you get good at it, then it doesn't train much. It's just fun to fucking do. But let's get started, guys. So 5 exercises, how to master the handstand. And for you guys who watch all the way to the end, I am at the end going to give you a pro tip how to even mentally start breaking down the walls that are stopping you from learning a handstand. So watch the whole video, guys. Let's go. All right, guys. Now, what is your first weakness in a handstand? Your hands, because you will be putting your whole body weight on your hands. So you have to make sure to strengthen not necessarily the hands, but your wrists. And there is some tricks to make your wrist stronger directly. And then you just have to grind it out like every other muscle. You just have to get used to it. So what is the first exercise? Well, that is just a exercise to put hands and put some weight and put some strain on your hands and your wrists. Now, how does it go? The first thing that you do, when you are down in a handstand, you don't want never to have your hand flat, because your hand is your balance. That means the fingers will be deciding if you fall over forward or if you fall over backwards. So the fingers have to be directing your body, so you have to grip the floor. So when you put your hands down, you spread your fingers out maximally. You don't stand like this. You spread your fingers out maximally and you grab onto the floor and you actively grab. And now your hands should be pointing forward. They don't want to be pointing out to the sides, because if you're about to tilt over, then you can only rely on your thumb, and that's going to be goddamn hard. So you want to have your fingers pointing forward, because now you have 4 fingers to push back if your feet are pulling you too much forward. That said, guys, this exercise goes very simple. You put both of your hands down, you stand up as much as you can. Now, you don't have to have your feet very close to your hands. You can have them a bit away. But what you have to do is you have to get as much weight on your hands as possible. That means you are extending your legs, tilting over on the hands, and coming up on your toes as much as possible. And now, guys, that important, lock your elbows out. This is a huge mistake people do in handstands. They bend their elbows. As soon as you bend your elbows, your muscles are doing all the work. The joints are not locked out. Your body is not assisting you in being able to do a handstand. So number 1 in handstand is locking your elbows out. So in this exercise, focus on that, because you're still on your feet, so you have control. Lock your elbows out and try to push your body as much as you can forward over the hands. Now you will feel that the fingers are starting to take control over if the body can go more forward or not. And this is what will happen when you are in a handstand. So grabbing the floor, both hands down, up, moving forward and up on your toes as much as possible, and just put strain as much as you can. And then you wrap it out. When your hands are tired, you take a rest and up again. As much weight as possible, elbows locked out, and come down. And now, that is the first exercise, guys. Wrap it out until you start feeling that your hands, your wrists are getting tired, because you have to strengthen the wrists and hands. And how do we know if we are actually getting stronger? Well, by feeling that we are pushing the muscles to the limit. So like you would train a biceps curl, the same you train your wrists. You have to just put strain until they are getting tired. All right, guys, well done. This is the first basic. Now number 2. All right, guys, for the second exercise, you're going to need a wall. Now don't use a glass wall like I'm doing, because we just don't have any walls in this gym. But you will need a wall, because you need to learn how to kick up in a handstand and not to fall over, right? And the wall will be protecting you from falling over. What do you want to be thinking about here? Everything that I just said in the previous exercise. So grabbing the floor, extending the elbows. But another thing here is you extending the whole body. So in your head, you want to be thinking that as soon as your feet leave the floor, you want to push as far away from the floor as possible. You don't want your shoulders to be falling together like this, because that puts your back in an overarch. The legs have to compensate, and you won't be able to do a proper handstand. It will be much harder to learn. So remember, as soon as you kicking your legs, you pushing your whole body away from the floor as much as possible. And now a pro tip is find a spot on the floor that you can look at and just focus on that spot. So you're doing everything, kicking with the legs, extending the hands, gripping the floor, but your eyes are locked on one point. That will help you a little bit with the balance, with the stability, and it will help you to get further forward faster when it comes to the handstand, guys. So there's not so much to think about, except don't kick all the power you got. Take it easy. You want to learn to control that kick, because later on when you're going into a kick without a wall, you won't be going all the speed, because you will be just falling apart or falling over. So trust me, tense your core, push away from the floor and take it easy. Try to get a feeling for the movement. If you don't reach the wall, don't worry and don't see it as a failure, because you're now trying to learn to control your body. How much power do you have to generate just to get your legs up? And another thing to focus on, I will talk more about that later in this episode, is to get the second feet up as soon as possible. Because what often happens is when you start kicking with your feet, one kicks up and the other stays down, doesn't move at all up. And that prevents this from reaching the wall. So that will be doing something like this. I will demonstrate. But focus on, as soon as the first foot has left the floor, the second is following. So let me demonstrate how it often looks when you're doing it wrong. One foot leaves the floor and the other stays low, because your head is scared of doing this. So it goes like and you can't really come up, and you don't understand why. The reason is the foot that isn't actively moving with the first foot. It is just simply pulling you backwards. So as soon as one foot has left the floor, you have to push the other foot to leave the floor as well. And this is how it looks when you do it correctly. Slowly. Don't push all you got. And you don't have to be worried of giving too little power, because if you give too little power, you just simply do not reach the wall, and you will do something that looks like this. And nothing happened. And now you know, for the next rep, you just have to push a little bit harder. So trust me, guys, feel this exercise out. This is not a go crazy all-in exercise. This is a nice learning and understanding of connecting your body standing upside down. All right, guys, that's it for second. Let's go to the third. All right, guys, and the third exercise puts a little bit more strain on your strength. Now, this exercise is done differently. There is no kicking. You are going to be controlled, walking up to the wall. Why do we do it? Because then you will start feeling how much muscles actually have to work to stand. And now this exercise you will be doing in two ways. First, you will be coming up and just holding. And now you want to do it for time. This is not 4 reps. This is not a wall walk up and down. You're just going up once and you're staying there. And now try to stay there for 30 to 60 seconds, just so your body can start strengthening and getting used to being there. And when you're standing and holding your feet against the wall, that means keeping the balance with your feet on the wall. Focus on tensing everything and focus on noticing if anything is relaxed when you are in that handstand position. Another thing to focus about is, are my elbows falling down? Are my shoulders falling down? Am I actively pushing myself as far away as I can from the floor? So perfect that handstand, because in this exercise you have perfect support from the wall, you have full control. Now you can perfect all the other small bits. So this exercise is a huge one to perfect the handstand. And now, when you feel that everything is in control, you have pushed away from the floor, you have connected with your body, everything is where it should be, you are trying to release the feet from the wall. So you actually, and you don't kick, you just release them a centimeter. Because what that does, it puts all the strain on your fingers and you're actually doing a handstand now. But as soon as you feel scared, you just come back to the wall. You will understand when I demonstrate how to do it, but remember guys, 2 different ways. The first way is just to get used being upside down, to get used on the strength and on the heaviness of your body being on your hands. When you start feeling comfortable in that, you start kicking the feet slowly off the floor. And now guys, when you're taking the feet off the floor, make sure 2 things. Tense everything before you do that. Tense your core, tense your glutes, tense your legs, tense your body, push away as far as you can from the floor, and then you just do a small kick. And you might just, for the first time you try this, notice that, oh shit, I'm actually balancing for a second. And another thing to make sure about is that in front of you is nothing that you can fall over, because it might happen that you fall over, so you don't fuck yourself up. So make sure that in front of you the floor is clean and there is nothing to hurt yourself on. And this is how it looks in action, guys. So now guys, you start with your hands quite far away from the wall. You take one foot up, you take the other foot up, and everything is cool. You're feeling that you got everything in control. You extend the feet and you start getting the hands closer and closer to the wall. And now you want to get as close as possible so your body can be fully straight. And you just stay here. Grip the floor, push yourself away from the floor, tense your core, tense your glutes, tense your legs, and just stand here for a while. And now that is one exercise. And the second is you just taking your feet off of the wall and standing. And when you lose the balance, your feet are coming back. Feet off and controlling with the hands. And when you lose the balance, you are coming back. And now guys, I promise you, 30 to 60 seconds in this will put a lot of strain on your body. So do this a lot, get stronger, because the less your muscles have to struggle in a handstand, the more you can focus on actually doing the handstand better and training on that handstand. So one key aspect is having enough shoulder, triceps, lats, traps strength to easily be able to keep your body upside down. All right guys, well done. On to the 4th one. All right guys, now what is the absolute biggest problem in a handstand? 2 can be. Now, either one is that you're kicking too hard and you're falling over, or that you're kicking too light and you're not coming up. Now this exercise takes away the problem of you falling over. So this is called donkey kick. So you're doing pretty much a handstand with your legs bent. I've shown that in another episode, not for handstand, because it is a great exercise to just do for your shoulder strength, for your upper body tension. But in a handstand, you need to get good at this. So if you want to learn your handstand, this exercise is not to be skipped. Now what is it? It is pretty much a handstand where you're kicking up with bent legs. The only thing you have to think about is exactly the thing that you're doing in a handstand. Gripping the floor, locking your elbows out, pushing your body as much from the floor as possible. And this is very important in this one. Push your body, because this exercise you can actually get done quite good, although if you're crunched together. But that doesn't help you to get good in a handstand. So body away from the floor. And of course, core tensed, glutes tensed. In general, your body has to be tense. You cannot do a handstand relaxed, because then you're just going to be falling over non-stop. So this is how it looks in action, boys. Hands down on the floor. Grab the floor. Make sure your elbows are locked. Get your ass up and lift the feet off the floor. And now you kick with both feet at the same time. And you're trying to maintain that handstand position for as long as you can. And if you can't, then you just keep repping this out. That means if this is all you can do, that's all you do. But you're trying to kick so your upper body gets as straight as possible. You don't want your hands to be in this angle, because then you're not improving your handstand. So the weight of your body has to be on your fingers. Your arms have to be straight up. Because in a handstand, that is exactly the angle that you're going to be having your hands in. So focus on that. You see, when you're good at handstand, it's hard to do half a handstand. But this is the concept, how you start learning into kicking up. So guys, don't sleep on this. Wrap it out until your shoulders are totally burned out. Take a rest and then do like you would do in the gym, normal 3, 4, 5 sets, depending if you're just focusing on your handstand training or you're doing other stuff in the gym as well. How I used to do when I learned handstand, I was just doing this as a warm-up. So I was deciding for 1 or 2 exercises. Every time I come into the gym, I do it for 10-15 minutes as a warm-up, and then I smashed out my gym session. And like that, you don't have the stress of you have to smash it out for 1.5 hours. You can just play around. Because trust me guys, it's fun to learn a handstand. All right, let's go. 5th exercise and the last one. All right guys, I've given you all the breakdown exercise. You've hopefully trained up all the skills you need to do a handstand. Now it's time to actually try the handstand. And there is a couple of things to think about. I've told them before, but I'm gonna just summarize them for you. Hands gripping the floor. Elbows locked out. Your shoulders pushing your body as much from the floor as possible. And remember guys, when you're training your military press, there is a reason why we are putting the head in and everything is extended. Because that is a full range of motion, and a handstand is going to be best in a full range of motion. That means lock everything out. Another thing, the core, because now your upper body has the support of your hands, but your lower body can be flying around everywhere when you're standing upside down. What controls it? 2 things, the core and the glutes. So make sure to actively tense the core before you start getting up in a handstand. And when you come up in a handstand, tense your glutes maximally. And feel. Don't just kick like a crazy and fall over and forget what you were supposed to be doing. Take it easy. Tense, but then feel it. Find that perfect motion. And remember, the first foot, as soon as that is past 90 degrees, that means as soon as it starts going upwards, the second foot has to follow. If you leave that on the floor, it's just going to be pulling you backwards. And this is how it looks in action, guys. And another thing, for you who watched this far, after this, I will give you a pro tip how to stop being afraid of getting up into a full handstand. So watch the whole video, boys. Now, hands down. 1 foot is in front, 1 foot is in the back, and this is the leading foot. So the foot in the back is the foot that is going to be leading. And as soon as that foot has already came up, this foot is following that one. And at the top, guys, you want your legs to be touching each other. You don't want them to be out here, because then it's 2 things you have to control, and that's going to be much harder in the beginning. So your legs coming up, one, the other is following, and they are locking together. That thing is going to help you tense the glutes and going to help you to control the legs together. So focus on, as soon as possible, get them together and kick nicely. So grab the floor, lock your elbows, breathe in, tense your core, and kick. And now, when you're standing here, focus on looking at one point that gives you the balance. And when you feel that your legs want to be tipping you over, you're pushing against that with your fingers, guys. And that's how you take the road to a full perfect handstand, guys. And I guarantee you, in beginning it will be all muscular, you will feel everything is tensing, it feels totally crazy, but at some point, I got there now, you will feel that you're just standing there, you're not even struggling, and that is the same as you would be standing in a power position on your feet. You don't struggle with the muscles to stand straight now. And that is when your spine and everything is perfectly aligned. Trust me, guys, it's a super cool exercise to learn, and the road to that will strengthen your body in mad ways. But guys, now, as I promised you, a pro tip, how to stop being afraid of falling over. Well, how do you kill fear? Not only in the gym, in general. If you keep running from it, it's going to chase you until the end of times. So how do you kill fear? Well, you turn the fuck around and face it. And believe me, as soon as you face your fears, they are going to turn around and they are going to start being afraid of you and run the fuck away from you. That means you will have no more fear in your life. So how do you stop yourself from being afraid of falling over? Well, you decide that that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to fall over. So this thing is what you want to be doing before you start trying a handstand. And if you do try a handstand first and notice that, fuck, I can't really get up, this is the mental blockage you have. So you have to kill that blockage. Fall the fuck over. And trust me, guys, it's scary, but it's impossible to hurt yourself unless you have any problems. So if you don't have any problems in your body, just fall the fuck over. And this is how it looks. Simple, nothing bad happened. You just fucking fall over, but something huge happened. You just killed a huge ass fucking fear. Well done, guys. That's how we build men, physically and fucking mentally. Now you got the tools, go and stand on your fucking hands and get crazy upside down. Ahoo!